play in Berkeley. I'm narrating the play, so that was
Nice catch.
And also, we have two incredible features this afternoon. We have Lady Revolutionary, who is on her way. She's dealing with traffic and parking issues, so hopefully she'll be here soon. And the esteemed Dan Brady. It's just wonderful to see Dan and Wendy out here, and we miss you. We miss you. Happy to have you. All right, a couple things. We have a full house, so we're going to have to go quick, and we're going to have to go short, unfortunately. So please try to keep it within 3 minutes. Maybe one poem or two if they're short, or three if they're very short, something like that. Also, please silence your phones and things of that nature. One more thing. After you read, you'll be able to get a complimentary pen. We've got some little pens, and there's some glitter, some are metallic, some are smell, some talk, whatever. But anyway.
Wow!
You get one after you've read, and so we're gonna have a few. Yes, sir.
Do you have any pens that like wet themselves and do that like?
I'm working on that. Working on that. But thanks, that's your request. Okay, so we're gonna have a few open mics. Again, Lady Rev is actually supposed to be the first feature, so usually we have the first few open mics, we have a feature, and then a few more, and then the other feature, but we may have to go a little long with the open mics until we get Lady Rev here. But anyway, we're going to get started with the open mic. We're going to read off the first few people, so you all can get ready. Chris will be first, followed by Rorschach, Antoinette, Gavin, and Yolanda. So please come to the stage. And again, please try to keep it down to about 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out. This is going to be a fantastic reading session. I can't wait to hear all you guys. I'm going to begin, before I read, I'm going to read one poem, but I'm going to begin by announcing that, first of all, I am the lead editor and founder of cappella.I, which is a literary and arts webzine, and we are celebrating our winter 2025 issue by having a reading of the 4 principles here next Saturday at 1 p.m. And everyone here is invited. And bring all your friends. It is also something of a benefit for the victims of the LA fires. So we'll be accepting donations for that. This poem, perhaps more timely than it would like, is called The Music of Fire. Quote, composer Arnold Schoenberg's archive destroyed in LA fires. Headline from BBC News. The composer Arnold Schoenberg, called by some the 20th century's greatest composer, by others a madman, fled Germany in the 1930s and spent his final years in California. His archive included more than 100,000 items and was the music world's most significant collection of curated editions of his work. At the heart of the world dances a dark fire. Magnificent the flames that hypnotize to life wood, metal, stone in the moment of its burning. Palace, forest, home. Terrible the flames that reduce the palace to a desert of ash. Leave the home in emptiness on a cold street. Fill the forest with smoke like the howls of wolves. The fire dances to a music only some can hear. Its secret is the shadow of its brilliant flames. A magician in old Vienna listened in the darkness and caught the harsh cadence that rules the world's fire. He magicked a harmony into the imperial air, where every chord led to another, like a question that never had an answer, but only another question. It was strange and new, a glorious intoxication. Above the strenuous joy, a tapestry of sounds, a fugue of wild colors, a stark polyphony, rode the wild air, a brilliant ecstasy for those with eyes to see, with ears to hear. Genius or saint? The world thought him a madman, certainly a magician, inventing new stars out of the dark music, the dark fire of the world. Cruel is the irony when the magician's spells, his magic books, his grimoires, his sacred texts, the lore of his delight and his desire are lost not far from the sea, on the hills of the Palisades that once so long ago protected him from annihilation on the far side of another sea, but now are consumed in fire.
Good. Rorschach is up next, and then Antoinette.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. All of you at this beautiful venue and this great event. I'm going to do this 21st century style and endeavor to read from my phone. This piece is from Rorschach page, and it is archived along with the entire run on my website, Rorschach.net. And I'm sending this.
A little bit.
Okay. I'm sending this on Rorschach.net. That's my website. I'm sending this, I'm doing this reading in memory of David Lynch. It's called Halloween. Light great fires in the night, show the stars that we survive. Light the beacons on Teufelberg, the hill, Teufelberg, the sky, Teufelberg, Berlin. Oh, damn it. Let me try it again. Sorry, guys. There it is. The Shire of Teufelberg was named for Mount Diablo, Devil's Mountain, which dominates its scenery. The Shire stretches eastward from the Oakland Hills to the Vandenberger Tor. Here find memorandum for the Shire of Teufelberg, East Contra Costa County, Concord, Martinez, Moraga, Pleasant Hill, Port Costa, Walnut Creek, Antioch, Lafayette, Orinda, Canyon, Clayton, Clyde. All harvest to be brought in, foods and the fruits of our labors, carefully inventoried and stored securely against cold, dark winter days that lie ahead. First of the 4 quarter days of our year, the festival goes back much further than few dare contemplate. See David Lynch fly high like a dark night of cloud consciousness from Teufelberg, Berlin, over the deep ocean of meditation and lost ruin of fair Atlantis, to Mount Diablo, California, followed by a long shot by David Seven King on magic carpet, girded with movie camera, Zoom microphone, and mantra. Then this night, the veil between worlds at its thinnest point of the whole year. Let us now recall the directions of the dreamlands, out of the north, out of the plateau of Ling, out of the east, out of the city of Calephas and the forbidden lands, out of the south, out of Isle of Oriah and the fantastic realms, out of the west, out of the port of Dialyth, the town of Ulthar, where no man may kill a cat, and the ruins of ancient Sarnath. The fortunate isles of the western sea still excite the imagination, for they abound in fruit and birds of every kind. These islands, however, are greatly annoyed by the putrefying bodies of monsters, which are constantly thrown up by the sea. According to Pliny the Elder, Natural History, it was ever thus. The dramatis personae of the mythological cycle invite our attention, especially at this time of year when the physical and supernatural worlds are close and magical things do happen. We are not consumers, we are human beings. Not pumpkins, nor turnips. See Paul Kantner hallucinating on the Kearney Street sidewalk. Inside the Lusty Lady Theater, River Phoenix takes in the peep show while Vincent Price smiles wryly from an adjacent booth. Mr. Jack-o'-lantern, apples red as port wine, float in the old wooden wash basin. Have your woman fetch with you one and get her in the mood, receptive to new worlds. Trick or treat, whirling of the wheel of the year, hobbits, orcs, great golden dragons with witches on the wing, witches writhing wildly on broomsticks, wizards reading runes, at work on mighty conjurings of preternatural fairies. Bank and stoke your fires well, and we shall ride out the long night until November dawn, our shelters shorn up, prudent insurance when storms are likely. In the buckets and bubbling cauldrons as we gaze opaquely deep into the past, among the smoke and flame, we might see bright glimpses of our future.
Oh, damn! Antoinette. And after Antoinette, Yolanda is up next.
Nice stage. I have two, and they're relatively short. This Little Life. The pork store, after a swim. Sit on a stool, watch him cook grilled thin chops, runny eggs, buzzing with smooth Chardonnay, mid-morning crowd. Bacon in the air, perfect pancakes bubbling, turned to golden. 30 minutes on the meter. So to speak at all makes all the sense. I'm fine in so many ways. Till oligarchs turn the till on their way to their freedom. Dismantle democracy because we asked. Thin chops rule, slide into first base from above the clouds, where genocide ends up, side down, straight up, cruelty for profit. Will to remember. On this One, we are sure, running into ourselves at our most valuable core. Forgotten is the one prayer myself must know. Form identity in a material life, emotional waves impress intoxicated lies. Littleness and singularity, sea of sin, knows of another sea running constantly whole, out at sea, beyond beauty. The likes of a teardrop is all we see. Water prostrates itself, globes burst bubble by bubble, and the whole, his wish to be seen, saying, "It is I, my lamps falling into wet seas where humans are yet to realize themselves tied and dropped to current waves, lost from the connected will, fighting the isness of now." Sea mystics know how individual mind rises from oceans linked to the one, seeing past what it took for him to look at you and together realize the mystery of us, the one.
Real quick, could you just plug your event?
Oh, yes, thank you so
Sorry,
much.
I'm shouting crazy.
Thank you. So 1428 Poets is now at 680 Valencia, and it's a live event and on Zoom. Dan Brady is the Zoom host, and I am the live host, and it's on the first Thursday of every month, coming up February 6th, and it's from 4 to 6 in the afternoon. It's live. Come. It's in the Mission. It's fun. And thank you very much.
680 Valencia?
Yeah.
What's the price?
680 Valencia at 18th.
At 18th. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
perfect bus stop too. Yeah, thank you very much.
Sure, perfect. Yolanda? And after Yolanda, we have Anna Burke and Dan O.
On the fires, what's it called, the second fire, it's really Tlaila Rashid, the one that did the world consciousness, that Palestinian congresswoman from Michigan. She sent me an email. Most of those people are working class brown and black people. Okay? I'm a waterfall with tears streaming down my soul. Crusty rivers survived by dams which laborers build. To stem the overwhelming suffering of my soul, walking barely on Mission Street, wondering is it the failed endeavors of Vermont Jewish Senator Bernie Sanders' proposed legislation, which garnered 19 votes. It's a United Nations ceasefire resolution, didn't include hostages, so they said, when in fact it included hostages release. 2, the United States funded monies for bombs that on November 2023 killed 88 mostly women and children in Gaza while they slept. 3, gray cement sidewalks we walk on, seeing homeless people, young, old, with pets, with cardboard, sometimes blankets, and they're lucky. While rain tumbles down from blue-gray sky. The blue, the shoe used as the color of the flag. With 6-pointed star in Ukraine, yellow and blue colors flag, yellow for the sun as well. C, I read on the internet news that some 100,000 years ago, the universe was dark and galaxies became part of the universe. Galaxies that brighten the skies. Light consisting coming from the stars, which the Jewish were quick to claim as their symbol. D, the Muslim symbol is crescent moon. And 9, E, it was during our night, their day, that whoever favored Israel, who chose to attack, killed, removed from planet, the wretched of the earth, the Palestinians, who have chosen Hamas as their liberators. Roman numeral 2, in May 2024, just like in 2017, Hamas published they're willing to live next to Israel. In May 2024, Hamas called for a 5-year ceasefire, which could become permanent ceasefire. Hamas wants peace. They want an end to the military fighting from both sides. Netanyahu said no. Netanyahu wanted to kill all of Hamas because Netanyahu said he wanted to eliminate Hamas. D, the Democrats lost 2024 elections. Not much difference between Republicans and Democrats. The elections are over. The bombings continue. The burning alive of Palestinian children, of Palestinian families, which have been going on for decades, continue. The water is rising. The water overtaking land will continue due to global warming. The stars, the sky, the sun will appear and not be invisible, disappearing eventually. Day will turn to night if the sun burns out. The moon will show its full splendor when the people recognize that nature, science, inherently change. It is inevitable. If we put political divisions aside and unite as a class, demonstrate our humanity by calling for a third party, a political party, a candidate that will carry us from destitution to a world free of plunder, free of exploitation, free of oppression, to a world where the moon will smile at us, where hydrogen and helium-filled stars will mean H2O. Water is for all, not just for the privileged class who consists of a few. Don't you have anything after that? Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. All right. I see our other feature has arrived. So we're gonna have a few more open mics, and then we'll bring on that first feature. So Anna Burke is next, then Dan O, and I think then we'll probably take our feature.
This is a poem I wrote after Emily Dickinson's poem, Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Because we never stopped, death worked its reins toward us. The carriage broke down, Rue holding the axle. And beauty careened our station wagon, bearing the indent of a single capsuled organ. And I, sitting back as death approached with her esteemed chariot. We had to pause as the road was dwindling where truth paced before the foreshortened procession. Beauty stopped and grew, she argued. I watched them all have their peace between the rooms until the moss had reached our lips, and covered up our names.
All right, I'm sorry, I missed Gavin. Gavin was supposed to go after Yolanda, so please, Gavin, go up and do your thing, and then after Gavin, Dan, and then our feature.
Hi everybody, it's good to be here. I'd like to share two quick pieces. Okay. So the first one is I Want To. I want to rebel, but how does one rebel alone when the streets are silent and the masses cradle their chains like treasures? I scream, but my voice dissolves into the hum of their quiet surrender. I want to rebel, but rebellion feels like a dream when survival eats away my days. How can I spark a fire with hands bound to the grind and a mind that is weighed down by debts? I want to rebel, but where are the voices to rise with mine? I see bowed heads, dulled eyes, and hearts too weary to defy. Ignorance looms like a mountain, and apathy clings like shadow. I want to rebel, but even as doubt whispers its lullaby, the fire in me refuses to die. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Even a small flame burning alone can light the entire path and find its own. And just a quick one. Agreed the times are testing, agreed that life is tough. The waters may be turbulent, the sea very, very rough. You may be down and out right now. You may not feel that great. But does that mean the end of life? Does that mean it's too late? The follies that you made may be gravest of the grave. But didn't we all fall sometime and learn from our mistakes? You are not broken, my son. You are sterner stuff. And don't the tough get going when the going gets tough. Get ready for the hard work. Get ready for the grind. And you will overcome, I'm sure, body, soul, and mind.
All right. Dan O.
I have one short poem. It has two epigraphs, but the title is Regarding the Debate About Luigi Mangione. You don't have a peaceful revolution. There's no such thing as a non-violent revolution. Anybody recognize that from Malcolm X? And then Issa, Japanese poet, Issa, all the time I pray to Buddha. I keep on killing mosquitoes. We evolve by violence. Sit on Zen cushion, disturb the dust mite.
Okay, now we'll have the first of our two features of the afternoon.
She's not back yet.
She's not back.
Walking to her car.
Oh, she's still part. Oh my God! Oh.
Keep going.
Yikes. Okay. All right. Well, she's here, but she's.
Parking
Yeah,
stop.
it is. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got Wendy, Barbara, Alan. So Wendy, Barbara,
So good to be here. Okay, oh, I'm taking off. Wendy. Now you can see me. Yay. I timed it, should be within 3 minutes. 2 poems. The first one is called Home. Heavy my heart to see what I see, to hear what I hear, to know what I know. Under the skyscrapers, mansions, and wealth stretch miles of hunger and years of woe. Where does it start? Where does it end? Will it ever be over, this river of tears, this hellhole of fear? Swallowed up by a system that's lost the key to building compassion and the dignity to be. Happy and pursuing dreams of light. Instead, there's hardship and struggle and plight. Cities of tents for houses. Instead, people living on the edge, barely able to survive, hoping for a bite to eat, some warmth at night to sleep, hoping every day to get a break, which brings some peace. Heavy my heart is in seeing what I see, hearing what I hear, in knowing what I know. To think homelessness is a stranger who will somehow make do by someone else's caring when the who is really me and you. See the signs, hear the pleas, know the truth
We are all connected through and through. Let none of us be out of touch with compassion that is real. Let each find that place within, the center of their being, the place where spirit dwells, where home begins and travels out to all the world. We shall recognize each other, remove the veils that blind. We shall care beyond mere words, make the world a better place for all. As we live from who we truly are, and remember always, not forget, that anyone can be displaced, lose home and more, meet trouble and travail. So let us not be out of touch with compassion that is real. Let each find that place within, the center of their being, the place where spirit dwells, where home begins and travels out to all the world. Listening. The song of the bird pierced through the quiet this morning. First messenger of a new, never before day. Walking sleepily along the worn path, an unseen puddle seeped into my shoes. The surprise, forgiven immediately. No room for dismay after all that deep listening rendered in me. The sound of the early bird rang crisp and clear, soon joined in its proclamation by a chorus of tweeting and chirping. I felt the rousing calls playfully settling in my bones. Enthralled by heaven's soundscape, I rested a while in the tenderness of peace. Yesterday's angst disappearing as I chuckled while shuffling through dry, crackling leaves. Such a world for the savoring, receiving life's hearing sensations, speaking to my aspiring heart, gathering joy, listening.
Barbara's next.
I have 3 pretty short ones. Invocation. My father taught me how to slide a vinyl album from its sleeve without touching the grooves, drop it on the turntable's peg, place the diamond stylus at the edge, scratch the voices of the dead out of a spinning black disc right into the room. This one's called Skimmers. Atmospheric rivers carry black skimmers thousands of miles off course to Crissy Marsh. You cut work to see these strange birds with vertical cat pupils and a lower mandible that juts beyond the upper to slice through water and scoop fish, insects, crustaceans, and mollusks from San Francisco Bay. A man stands beside you near the sandbars where the skimmers have flushed the terns from their roost. He asks technical questions about your camera, identical to one he received as a gift, a symbol of approval from his father for leaving the 9 to 5, for a lifestyle of elementary school drop-offs and pickups, bird watching until the midday avifauna lull, and 2 mid-afternoon hours selling legal marijuana. Senior birders arrive in a cluster, high-end sighting devices, binoculars, monoculars, long lenses, and scopes. Word is out about the special visitors. There is one black-haired woman among them, walking slowly, wrapped in layers against the wind. She tells you she should be at work, but since the cancer, at only 42, she's joined this club that never lets the chance to see a rare bird slip away. And the last one. It's short, I promise. Amtrak train slogs across Sacramento Valley after a storm. Water clouded with goat scat, ferries, debris, rises to the mouths of abandoned tents. I ponder where the recent inhabitants have floated as I listen to a podcast on Seamus Heaney's poetry about the bog people. Murdered or sacrificed to Iron Age deities, staked to land, peat dyed soft parts outlasting bone, disinterred, dissected, displayed in museums. I close my eyes and think of Wicklow Mountain, clouds parted, clear view, blanket of heather and moss, glacial lakes.
All right, we're gonna keep going. Next on our list, Alan Harris.
Mr. Harris.
And then David Erdreich. David Erdreich follows Alan. Anybody can follow Alan.
I can't write no haiku. 3 lines. First line 5 syllables, second line 7 syllables, third line 5 syllables. That's too many rules, too much structure. My art can't be penned in like that. It needs to be allowed to roam about freely, to get in close when it wants to, and then to pull back when it wants to, and to sometimes march, and to sometimes crawl, and to traverse, and locomote, and propel, and impel. It needs to be allowed to walk into walls, to trip over trash cans, to spill hot soup in its lap, to miss the toilet bowl entirely while trying to urinate, to accidentally vote for the Republican when it meant to vote for the Democrat. My art needs to be given enough space to accommodate its chaotic, anarchic, perpetually confused, spastic existence. It cannot be expected to comply with the strictures of classic and modern poetic forms, the haiku and the acrostic and the ballad and the sonnet and the rondeau and the villanelle and the cascade and the tanka. Even free verse is too constricting for my art, simply because it has a name. And I envy the discipline of the haiku writer and the sonnet author and the tanka creator. I could never do what they do. All I can do is let my mind wander about like an unsupervised child, making sure it doesn't walk into traffic, but otherwise letting it eat as much candy as it wants to, and stay up as late as it wants to, and throw a tantrum when it doesn't get its way. And while I would most likely fail as a parent, my art thrives on the lack of discipline, on the enormous amount of crap that I have to wade through in order to get to anything useful, on the failures that number in the millions, and that's just since breakfast, on the post-reality ridiculousness of my retrofitted and yet disordered fantasy life, on the tenuous permanence upon which my entire continuation has been constructed, and on a writing style that could understandably lead one to the incorrect conclusion that I am being paid by the word.
David Erdreich.
I have 2 fairly short ones with a haiku in between. Caligula, wherefore art thou? The circus is coming to town. Who salt of orange atop his crown? Plastic pillows, no feathers or down. The circus is coming to town. A braggart, misogynist, rapist clown, 20 ministers of no renown. His own voice is most appealing sound. The circus is coming to town. Conspiracy theories flourish abound. Colors can't rent from this man about town. Hands and fingers so tiny, they never have worked. He's fried at McDonald's, a faux soda jerk. In young women's dressing rooms, you'll find him lurk. The circus is coming to town. He's shilling Bibles, printed in China. Ignores each pregnant wife while he hunts for vagina. To this climate denier, there's no silver liner. But The circus is coming to town. Revenge is his daily cup of tea. QAnon or brainworms, delusions he sees, concocted by pinheads he watched on TV. The circus is coming to town. Constitution will suffer severe diminution. His border disorder on your tape recorder. Intelligence, there's no need to read. Just let melon husk continue to breed. The circus is coming to town. The haiku. This is the title. Street, no cred. Consideration? Why park your car when you can block traffic? This one I wrote yesterday. Inlet. Show me tides strewn north to south that hit a barrier of land. There find pipers, plovers, turnstones, excavating sand. Wimbrels, willets, 3 species of peeps, sanderling, skip, skitter, oyster catchers, avocet, stilts, peck among the litter. Godwits, curlews, phalaropes, cavorting through the brine. And of course, gulls and terns follow the tidal line. Sora, really? 4 species of rail? Secretive, difficult to trail. Egrets great and snowy, spring breeding plumes so showy. Nesting herons, the great blue, stalks the reeds for a ground squirrel or two, which he dips in the water. What's a heron to do? Then swallows head first, there's no need to chew. Among the riprap, burrowing owl, swiveling head and permanent scowl, this migrant interprets our winter as spring, December through February. Her presence she brings. Supplement her peregrinations by other raptors and all their relations. Harrier, red-shouldered, red-tailed hawk, and peregrine falcon, the king of the walk. Albany bulb inlet ripples, arrives, precisely where shellfish and minnows thrive. Thank you.
Must have ready. Ready to go? Well, okay. Now, we have both features in the house now. Okay. Lady Rev, or Lady Revolutionary, is an educator, poet, and healer from Bayview, Hunters Point, San Francisco, California. She is passionate about community, education, and healing. She has over a decade of experience working as a facilitator, educator in youth development, and has created trauma-informed youth development curriculum and workshops. Lady Rev also facilitates healing workshops for service providers and community members that work and reside in Bayview, Hunters Point. Lastly, she is the host of Talking Out the Side of the Neck podcast, which focuses on individual healing practices for everyday life. She's also a member of First Tuesday Spoken Word at Bayview, which happens first Tuesday of every month at Radio Africa on the corner of Oakdale and 3rd at 7 p.m. So, that being said, please welcome to the stage, Lady Revolutionary.
Hey, how y'all living?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's good. Me too, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I overestimate or underestimate the amount of people that have moved to the Bay. It's just so many people out here now. It's really hard to get around. But as you know, hopefully we'll get better. What's good, you guys? I'm from Double Rock. It is no longer in existence. We have a new building. We don't really claim. And so with the idea of the new shit, I'm gonna share some new shit tonight, or this afternoon, evening. And we'll just see how it goes. I'm still deciding if I want to add to these pieces. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Mistakes laid out like a recipe for a heart half empty. Like evidence that love died here. A reminder that winter is not the coldest season and breathing is involuntary. That touch requires sensation and sensation requires emotional attachment, and that part of the psyche is damaged. Reflections of parts of soul ripped in pieces, torn from each memory of life before loss and more lost sunbeams, like what happens when sadness overwhelms you. Tears like relief for repression. Anger consumes everything and it paints it victim. There were no choices had here. There were no other directions. This path was not chosen, but we survived here. Have put footprints to show somehow someone stumbled here. Loose hopes of being seen for what you've always tried not to be. The air thick with words and emotions trapped in moments that you never even wanted. This hand dies lonely. A warped facial expression that resembles the ancestors you disappointed. Shallow souls are what carries bones across failures, and I did my best, always becoming, but never fully settled. Set hopping, just trying to breathe. You planted, but may never harvest. Okay, sorry about that. You know, I be struggling with mics, so y'all gotta say something if y'all can't hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, we good?
We're good.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right, this next piece, man, I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting on myself and like different ways of I could be improving myself. And you know, when you reflect, you start to discover not only good things, but bad things that you should probably do better at, you know what I'm saying? And so this poem is me trying to process some of the things I discovered in my reflection. Sometimes I don't actually know myself. Lost in rays of confusion, anger, and parts of me still stranger, I wonder how insanity was first named. I wonder how person knew that their mind became untamed, words just spelling out forgetful of commitment. I wonder how words make heaven. Shit, I don't even know if I've ever fully committed to myself. I think I just discovered shit that I needed to feel. But I know at times I walk in shadow, just like I do light. There's different parts of me that function on different sides. No, they don't get along. I get lost in galaxy, a theory that infinite is within reach and existence is forever. I tell myself protection is always better and protecting me is my priority. That's what it's always going to be. But sometimes I don't know what or who I'm protecting myself from. Sometimes I really don't even know which reality I've ended or begun. These are just thoughts of an anxious, self-sabotaging healer cloaked in longing for belonging on every which way to reflect to others, teaching people to transform and escape, but fall victim to myself day by day. Can't stay committed to being different, but I'm committed to being different. Yes, I dream of freedom, but sometimes I don't know if I can actually reach it. Don't know if the taste is fulfilling enough. Sometimes I think my mind too small for not willing to push myself past my limits, or maybe it's too big and limitations be life best. Is this existence significant and invisible? See, life taught me you can be both, and it's always problematic. I ain't worried about life on the other side of those mountains, but I know it exists, and sometimes my choices reflect it. And I want the best of it. I want peace, even though war is waged within me. I'm still learning how to get it. I recently reflected and realized that I've heard the same thing over and over and over again, different people and situations, mind empty of all expectations. I realized that it was me doing something. I'm a common factor without realizing, and accountability begs me to be reasonable. No empire is built off one hand. Who am I fighting? And when will it end? Warring with myself is my greatest accomplishment. Running backwards to track habits to my foundation. I never planned to live this long. I must have given myself permission. I'm still kind of shocked I made it. I stumbled through pain, colonized acceptance, and I'm still learning. Shit is still changing. Every day is a new layer. Helping others is less challenging, but I think struggle favors me. I see how deep the road is, and I wonder how I didn't become someone else, or maybe I did. I gotta sort through all this shit. Ain't been manic in a minute, but shit again, maybe I have. I question my understanding of change. Self-control is suffocating. Maybe I get bored with domestication. Maybe I resent certain choices in certain situations, but I can't stay stuck there. Maybe people call me crazy because they want to stick me there. I like my mind free. I like myself wild and destructive. Why can't I have both? Why can't I be everything I've ever spoke, every cloth I've worn, every cheek kissed, every body touched, every tear, every death, every soul touched, everything, everywhere, all the time? Why can't I be it all? Why can't everyone just accept everything inside of me? Why is all of me so overwhelming? See, here I go again. Just justifying instead of changing. Still questioning. Understanding but never rearranging. Just lost in everything. Trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be after living longer than I imagined. I'm trying to embrace my path, but I'm also paralyzed. I'm trying to stop crying, but I always feel like I need to cry, and lately auto is my only drive. I'm trying to ignite myself and feet stomp the flame. Trying to push myself forward while the past still calls my name. I know I can swim, but I'm also drowning. I know I can make better decisions, but I hate that I have to. I want to be free, but freedom alone is just solitude, and I want more. I gotta figure this shit out. Or do I stay lost forever? And if I do, who will I be lost to? All right, this next piece is fun for me. It's kind of funny and fun. I walk around all the time, right? And you realize in the general public how much people are just so, like, almost just absent-minded of black people existing in the world. They don't say, excuse me. They don't say, pardon me. It's almost like people just expect you to move about their way. A motherfucker will sit behind you for 10 minutes and won't say shit. And I had to turn around like, were you trying to do something? Like, why are you standing so close to me? You should say something. Close mouth version of that. To the white folks who are walking too damn close to me on the sidewalk, a closed mouth don't get fed. But if you bump me, a closed mouth won't be what you get. It baffles me how you think I'm invisible. Just window enough to squeeze past me or walk through me like the fear of being disgruntled behooves me or isn't properly fit to my humanity. Contrary to your own beliefs, you do not own this world. My people say, call a spade as a way to keep it real. Your shitty mannerisms don't fit your inflated self-esteem, and apparently your perception of life is blinded by barred headlights. Don't walk too close. What makes you so comfortable? How long can you hold your breath before uttering excuse me? Purple and blue must be your favorite colors. Why do you feel that you don't have to say excuse me? Who told you that your destination was more important, that your life means more than mine? Keep your awkward smile, because all you'll get from me is resistance. I will stand stiff and strong like the legacy of every black body you demanded die here, or burning like sunbeams in a land you don't belong to. I hope you trip over your ego and cement blesses you with clarity. I hope your chin tap dances with natives who are tired of your religious solicitations. To the white folks who think they're smarter than everyone else, them big ass words don't mean shit. And as a matter of fact, it's ignorant to use big words out of context. Gatekeeping with tongues who don't own the words that they throw spite with. Trying to manifest a reality that you don't even have the blame in, but you should wear your shame with humility. And stop acting like you didn't come from the filth and incest and debauchery. It's a well-known fact to the white women who moved my shit out the seat. Shocked when I opened my eyes talking about you didn't want to disturb me. Bitch, I'm not asleep. Have the decency to ask before you touch my shit. Now, I should slap shit from your mouth. In memory of every black body violated by white women's privilege, resistance is in my nature, and it's gifted to me by my ancestors. And you bet your hot ass I use it as my hammer. Beat these down your spine so that you feel as uncomfortable as you look. Your awkwardness is laughable, and my stern expression got you shook. To every white doctor that refuses proper treatment, one day it'll be your turn. To the white folks that think it's cool to touch our hair without permission, we are not experiments, and you will never have the liberty to conduct another Tuskegee Airman. We are not pets for your entertainment or children needing your exploitation. We are human, we are the beginning, we are infinite, and we will whoop your ass. Shout out Greg for having me today. Appreciate you. I think this is my second time being in this building, and it's really cool because it's a whole different crowd this time. And so I enjoy that. I like exposing myself to new experiences and new folks. All this shit is new, y'all, so I don't really have a lot to say other than we're just gonna go. You know, this is untitled too. I don't know what to call it. I guess Negro spirituals will always be my favorite songs. Sewn to my back like the mark of the beast, I was made pretty. Made to look at mirrors of empty, resembling other people I may not know. I wonder if people hear black folks scream. Do our tears look like raindrops or stains on concrete? How many black bodies never see cemetery? My words cost me too much. Make my thoughts a prison for what I'll never understand. I was made to walk heavy. Cause chatter when I walk into a room. I never figured out the price of comfortability, but I know I can't afford it. Can't count how many generations have been broken, but I can feel it. This DNA regenerated since shivers of slain masters, family reunions, African ancestry, white gaze, useless tears, anger, and cut tongues. Make me pure. Make me in images I have no words for. Cremate that shade of me so that I can show that I am a God. This displaced by things that still don't know themselves.
Another 7 minutes.
All right. This one I haven't really shared a lot because, you know, I just don't know. I don't know it. Like when I wrote it, I was in a certain space, and I don't know if I identify with the space anymore. So I struggled to share it, but I was called to share it today. Like, Spirit was like, oh, this is gonna be one of them. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just gonna share it. I left my village years ago. At the time, I didn't realize I was abandoning a home that created the strength I now carry in my bones. I thought misfortune and misery were reasonable. And of course, taxis through despair were more fair than trekking through what's invisible, breathing through smoke till my lungs couldn't breathe air, and I landed in a strange world of self-hatred and delusion, where hands that could fish grip metal and house bullets of shame as trophies. Babies raised families and knew everyone's name, and in some ways, it was designed to never change colors, lost color. I didn't know what to call it, but village seemed inappropriate, yet some would say it is or was an extension of what it started with. Just customs and traditions, a little different because their sunshine was blocked by generations of unforgiveness and artificial moonlight. The air polluted with generations of plastic personalities and store-bought morality, heart-shaped regression, and music that only reminds you of what's missing, roots still connected to the heritage. I tried to plant my feet, but the soil rejected me, weeded me from a village I didn't even know I ever reached. And I can't help but think, maybe I've never had a home. Maybe with changes of seasons, I was meant to roam. Maybe I was meant to be underwater. I was designed to convert water as air. Maybe happiness is an illusion. Maybe I'm one of those babies that knows everyone's name, but maybe I am different. Maybe an invader in a village with no eyes, tears seductive like candy, sweet and salty from years of trying to figure it out, body like a lake bending and taking shape of whatever container was decided on today. Hearts ain't even the same as hearts. Lives archived in cemeteries, front yards, blocks of houses, and mouths tended by ghosts of what a generation had potential to be. Exchanges of experience for a chance to lay face on God and her precious gold. I left my village years ago, mazed in skies I've yet to reach. Realities merge so my feet don't feel like feet. I feel colors and I hear souls, sense words before they can be a story. My dreams keep me inspired, give me glimpses of a land my roots reach. My inherited voice be my weapon, resounding loud enough to break illusions and bloodlines and eyes and grown children and visions and elements and generations and memories and memories and memories and memories and yes, villages. Maybe I am a tyrant. Maybe I only rule myself. Maybe I am foolish, but I only fool myself. Maybe I am power. Maybe I am what ancestors manifested. Maybe I am spirit. Maybe this force within me will never stop fighting or searching. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Grass don't grow everywhere. Weeds ain't even the same as weeds. My village is within me, carried from vertebrae to vertebrae, trauma, loss, resentment, and hope. The calcium that holds these bones and joints together, every breath taken restores. And somehow I've collected bits and pieces of different villages inside my own. A memorial of broken connections, soulmates, angels, and divisions of godliness. There is another version of me, many, many galaxies ahead, witnessing my transformation, ensuring that this phase of life be cemented. Maybe, just maybe, I am the result of my own invention. That's my last one, y'all. Thanks for riding wave.
Yeah.
This one is something I've never really been able to finish. And I'm still hoping that someday the words will come to me. But I wanted to share what I have. I'm gonna do that. Empty capsules are evidence that I tried to love you. That I poured out my soul and gave you paintbrush to sketch out which parts of me you need. I've given my tongue for your security and gave up my own freedom, and all you want is more. More sadness, more resentment as payment for you not loving your damn self. Like I owe you for your misfortune. I've been filling your cup, not knowing that there was a hole at the bottom. And you content with bottoms up. I housed you in the backs of my mind to give you space to grow, and you just don't want to. Maybe you don't know how to. Maybe you're scared to move from what you know of you. Here, there is no air, and gravity is mental. Lungs function as a reminder that sometimes struggle goes unnoticed. Heartbeat scratches the tracks you ain't released yet, but it's still my favorite playlist. Though this body has gone back into earth so purpose can be fulfilled, the energy still taunts you. Blood left on the kitchen sink as reward for stalling out salvation. Can't nobody save you. Nobody know you like I do, and those different faces don't make me no fool. You can be scared, but I can't share in deflection. You can blame everyone but your choices. Judge everyone but that voice inside your head. Of course you can't be responsible for being miserable. Opportunities knocked, but misery always intercepted, and it's easiest to define denial in classism. This is how the world's supposed to be. Even back then, this is how the world acclimated me. Made me cynical, cannibal, never full, never enough. Bottles ain't empty as long as you have eyes. Long as you embody the righteousness of hypocrisy, ain't nobody here to be your soundboard. And apparently there's no sound of people if they aren't here to hear it. Which path represents your direction? How many times can we blame me for you not moving forward? I'll be damned if I be the roadblock. And I'll be damned if I be blocked by you. Check me out. I do also offer healing coaching. You can find my website on my page as well if you ever want to sign up for a consultation. Thank you.
Thank you. Another hand for Lady Rev. Okay, wow. Okay, we got quite a few people still on the list here, so we're gonna try to, and my list kind of ends with Rob here, actually Robert Rubino, but anyway. Up next, we've got Carl Wiener, Nina, Dana, Val, James, Rob, Robert, and I know there are other people who probably are on here. Is JR, and anyone else who's not? I think there's another sheet. All right, Carl's up next. Carl? And after Carl will be Nina. Thank you.
I'm not going to do more than two, so, and I don't even know which ones.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I am not going to do more than two, but which two, I don't know yet. I'll do this one. Okay, all right. Antarctica. If you plan to leave for Antarctica, you must first practice hospitality to the wind by listening to it for long and solitary nights. Then, the shelves of blue ice and glacial valleys of Antarctica will be redundant to the visions of wind-carved land and frozen snow. The persistent sound of the wind arouses in you. Your vision will then subsume the polar land in advance of your arrival, because you will see past the brief term of all life on Earth. Will I still know you as a creature then? Trust that I will try to break the hold of ultimate things on your spirit, but do not trust that I will succeed. Do not trust that I will be able to bring you back. I might as well read this one. This is kind of a summation of my travels, which interest absolutely nobody. Have never known. He read of me that I would go back to my own country in sadness and regret. I read of him that he wanted me to stay, and even more, that he wanted to be my rescue. But why in the first place did I suffer the difference of his country? Why had I gone to see a world, or worlds, more tranquil, successfully domesticated, more verdant, and more forested, when I would have to return to my own land in terror? If only I had never left, I would have never known to pronounce the synonyms of fear. Instead, I would have naively reflected them. Oh, so many pens, all right.
All right, next up, we've got Nina and I think we may get to our other feature.
Hello. There is a very celebrated Palestinian poet, Mosab Abu Toha, who regularly gets published in places I want to be published. New Yorker, New York Review of Books. And he's from refugee camp Jenin. He posted a tweet about Kamal Odvan Hospital that is getting bombed and no Western media is covering it, not even minor media in the West. I wrote a caption for the tweet. I'm not a celebrated academic at a leading Holocaust research center in Europe or in DC. Worse or not, I'm not even a professional in any field of interest for the attendees of Allen and Company's Sun Valley Conference, nor for any other conference, so don't take anything you hear from me seriously. That is to say, the closest I have come across any event resembling what Israel is doing to the forgotten and away humans of Gaza is what Germans did to the forgotten and away Jewish people in Poland in 1940 till 1943. In the summer of 1942 alone, 250,000 breathing people were shipped to Treblinka from Warsaw Ghetto at a low estimate during gross action. Overall, an estimated 90,000 shrank to death due to an effective forced starvation regime imposed by thoughtful Germans. Looking back in the history, drinking my fears, I wish I wasn't born. And if forced to be born, I wish I was never sent to school. I wish I was an illiterate shepherd boy, a smelly, closeted shepherd boy. My best friend was a harlequin alibi. I fucked with wolves. I had a big stick, a huge stick. I made natural butter. I buttered my stick. I fucked myself. I fucked myself so good I was heard in heavens. I moaned so consistently good and loud, Gabriel was sent down to offer throat massage and other tricks. I was appointed a prophet. I was stoned by kids. I was respected by snakes. I could have long, long maternity leaves. I was a myth. I only appeared when I was tickled in a certain place, in a certain way by a certain few. I had my own club. I was a story. I was never annoying. I could retire to a cave. I could sleep there for centuries. I was allowed to never leave my cave. I was allowed to forget. Thank you.
One more open mic and then we'll do our second feature. Dana, is Dana? Dana's ready. All right.
Thank you. The only context needed for this is that it describes, from a series of poems describing the forced incarceration of my family in 1942 and 43 for the duration of the war, among all the other Japanese Americans on this continent. So as we approach this historical catastrophe unfolding, I'm thinking about disappearing people. It's called Lanai, 1943. In my favorite family photograph of you, you aren't there. You aren't in your hothouse. All the ice in your ice house melted months ago. In the tide pools, anemones flail. The rest of the island sleep well in their white sheets, happy to be the leftovers. Your children and wife surround you. You are an orchid your wife has put in your place. She remembers it once in your hands, bright, but now an unreadable color. This one's gonna be a little different. The Ambassador's Dream. There are birds that hang on wires and cars in my dream, the ambassador said as he sipped his coffee in his therapist's office. The birds surround me, perch on my outstretched arms. I become scarecrow-like. In the sky above me, strange silver discs hover. The ears of the corn caress my cheeks, and the sun rises in the east. As my chest is pecked open, I become the Son of God. The ambassador chuckles. The therapist doesn't wince or show emotion. Cheese sandwiches are served at the convention of diplomats later that day. The coup of negotiation is climate controlled. The diplomats keep playing their huge board game. Outside the convention center, the police have slammed a woman's head into the hot tar. Somewhere, a politician is jerking off in a gilded bathroom stall. All of us walk around like we don't have dice lodged in the palm of our hand. Truth be told, we need to start breaking things. We need to say to the ambassador, you are as meaningless as your dumb dream. Though this world's only dream was of clean boots, tonight there will be no allegories painted on the walls of the Capitol, my sweet. That's blood. Thank you.
Oh, you get your pen. All right, we're ready for. Hey, we're ready for our second feature of the afternoon. All right, I'm going to read this as if I were Dan Brady. Wow. What a stretch, right? All right. I am known for my hosting of Sacred Grounds, as well as appearances at poetry events and being featured at some of them over the years. I'll be performing something quite new today. I will be singing historically relevant songs. Some will be short, some humorous, some will require trigger warnings, some will be favorites of mine, my family, from my formative years, and more. I will sing them a cappella. I've been singing for some long time, and was inspired to present songs by Tommy Smothers brothers, who in an interview some years ago mentioned that he and his brother described themselves as singers of historical songs. And that struck a chord, a heart chord with me. So he may add some other things on as well. Dan is a wonderful, incredible talent and a champion for poetry in San Francisco.
That's right.
As host of Sacred Ground.
Technical difficulties. That should be the name of my next poem. Let me get my glasses. No, he's right. Tommy Smothers was in an interview. He mentioned that they thought of themselves as singers of historic songs, and so when I was really young, 5 and 6, I remember walking around my neighborhood and singing this song, which was on the radio at the time. And well, you'll see it. And I don't sing the whole song. Sometimes I leave parts out. So I'm going to do a number of pieces that span decades, even centuries. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. For love may come and tap you on the shoulder some moonless night. And just in case you feel you want to tell her, you have a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. So, and that was like 56. And then some of the songs are really short, like this one from England, 1923. Put on your old gray bonnet with all the frills upon it, and we'll hitch old Dobbin to the shade. And through fields of clover we'll go down to Dover on our golden wedding day. Yeah, and that's it. That's all the song. That was a hit back then. Some songs are really long, which I won't go into, like Froggy with the Gordon, he did run. Froggy with the Gordon, he did run. Froggy with the Gordon, he did ride. A sword and a pistol by his side. And that goes on for a long time. And I always thought, why is Froggy going a courting with a sword and a pistol? I don't understand that. Could have been in those old days where things were dangerous on the road. Let's see. Oh. Some are funny, humorous, and I don't know where this one came from, an album called Barroom Songs and Backroom Ballads. I'm going to get to some political stuff later on here. Our passengers will please refrain from flushing toilets while the train is in the station. Darling, I love you. While the train is in the station, we encourage constipation. Moonlight always has me think of you. If you need to pass some water, kindly call the Pullman porter. He'll place a vessel in the vestibule. If the porter isn't near, use the platform in the rear. The one in front is likely to be full. Ladies, if the women's room be taken, never feel the least forsaken. Never show a sign of sad defeat. Just use the men's room across the hall, and if some man has had the call, he'll courteously relinquish you his seat. If these efforts are in vain, then simply smash a window pane. This novel method's used by very few. Oh, we go strolling through the park, like goosing statues in the dark. If Sherman's horse can take it, I can too. Now we leave humor. And this is a song that was written in the 1970s by an Irish singer-songwriter upon a small story that appeared in a local newspaper. The Fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling, Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Travailin's corn, so our young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had faith and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. By the lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling, Mary, nothing matters when you're free. 'Gainst the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child in dignity. By a lonesome harbor wall, she watched the last star falling, as that prison ship sailed out against the sky. She lived with hopes and pray for her love in Botany Bay. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. That goes back to the Irish family. A fascinating chapter in history. Now this one, I taught second grade for many years, and one of the things I like to do is sing folk songs, and the class and I would sing them. And during what I used to like to call the Bush Reign of Error, and the Iraq War. I know. That's not my line though, I like it, but it's not mine. So we would sing this song, and it had good effect. The title is If I Were Free, and I think I heard it on a Peter, Paul and Mary album, I believe, some years ago. If I were free to speak my mind, I'd tell a tale of works of war on every hill. The time has come for peaceful days and peaceful men of peaceful ways, when all mankind has ceased its fight. I'll raise my hands in thanks each night for this return and all it means for golden days and peaceful dreams.
Now this one, you'll keep me apprised of time and let me know when I'm lost. I don't know. I should do that. Okay, so this, I'm going to do, this is a song written by Kitty Costello to the tune of another Christmas carol. And I liked it so much, I thought, I'm going to put this one in. I said, that's good. Have yourself an existential Christmas.
Have yourself an existential Christmas. Wonder why you're here. Doubt the authenticity of all this cheer. Why sing Bible quotes and Christmas carols? Try Sartre und Kierkegaard. God is dead will fill all of our greeting cards. So have yourself an existential Christmas now. Here we are, morning, noon, and night, gorging like it's our last meal. Sugar highs and credit buys make it seem like life's not real. In this time of frantic stimulation, please don't be annoyed while I have a confrontation with the void. Let's each have our lone existential Christmas now.
And in honor of the dire times we're in, this is what I call this Ramananda's Tibetan birthday song. You'll see. It's also to the tune of another song.
Happy birthday, oh happy birthday, gloom and sorrow, happy birthday, oh happy birthday, people dying everywhere, happy birthday, happy birthday, oh happy birthday, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, one day closer to death.
Minor chord. You pointed the minor chord. The funeral dirge.
This is from the 60s. You probably remember the musical Hair. This is one of the pieces from that. Very simple, so I know I can sing it fairly well. Air is the name of the song.
Welcome, sulfur dioxide. Hello, carbon monoxide. The air is everywhere. Breathe deep while you sleep. Breathe deep, bless you. Alcohol bloodstream, save me. Nicotine lung steam. Incense, it's in the air. Breathe deep while you sleep. Breathe deep. Cataclysmic ectoplasm. Fallout. Atomic orgasm. Vapor and fume at the stone of my tomb, breathing like a solid perfume, eating at the stone of my tomb. I'm looking rather attractive now that I'm radioactive. Just watch me spark, I glow in the dark. Just watch me spark, I glow in the dark. Breathe deep while you sleep. Breathe deep, 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 deep.
Okay, so I'm going to end with political things. This song actually made it to the airwaves during the 60s. Feeling like I'm fixing to die rag, I don't know if anybody. And then I'll do Sandstone. That's a terrible one. Well, come on, all you big strong man, Uncle Sam needs your help again. He's got himself in a terrible jam, way down yonder in Vietnam. So put down your books and pick up a gun. Gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no why, I wonder why. Would be all gonna die. Well, come on, generals, let's move fast. Your big chances come at last. You gotta go out and get them revs. The only good commie is one that said, and you know that peace can only be won when you blow them off kingdom come. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why we're all gonna die. Oh, come on, Wall Street, don't be slow. Man, this sport is a go-go. There's plenty of good money to be made by supplying the army with the tools of the trade. Just hope and pray when they drop a bomb, they drop it on the Viet Cong. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time for wondering why we're all gonna die. Oh, come on, mothers throughout the land. Pack your boys off to Vietnam. Come on, dads, don't hesitate. Send your sons off before it's too late. Be the first one on your block to have a boy come in a box. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we but you know, the box line. Just so this is horrific. This is horrific. Sandstone. Sandstone came home to his wife and family after serving in the conflict overseas. And the time that he served had shattered all his nerves and left a little shrapnel in his knee. But the morphine eased the pain, and the grass grew around his brain, and gave him all the confidence that he lacked. With a purple heart and a monkey on his back, there's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop and count the tears. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. And Stones, welcome home, didn't last too long. He went to work when he spent his last dime. But Sam, he took to stealing when he got that empty feeling for $100 habit without overtime. And the gold roared through his veins like 1,000 railroad trains, and eased his mind in the hours that he chose, while the kids ran round wearing other people's clothes. Sam Stone was alone when he popped his last balloon, climbing walls while sitting in a chair. Well, he played his last request while the moon smelled just like death. with an overdose of ran in the air. But life had lost its fun, there was nothing to be done but trade his house that he bought on the GI Bill for a flag grade basket on a local hero's hill. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't try and count the tears. Sweet songs never last too long, breaking radios.
Like a little tiny one, is that okay?
So I'm going to conclude with this one. It's optimistic. It was written in 1798 by Thomas More in honor of those of his college friends who died in the Irish Rebellion of '98. And I first heard this hummed on one of the Star Trek shows, and then I looked up the words and I looked up the history. So it's. I'll close with this one. The minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he had girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him. Land of song, said this warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful heart shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chains could not bring that proud soul under. The harp he loved word ne'er spoke again, for he tore its cords asunder, and said no chains shall sully thee, thou soul of love and bravery. Thy songs were made for the pure and free, they shall never sound in slavery. Thank you. Thank you. I have, most of you know me as a poet, and so I have some of my books over there. Whatever the cover, they're all that long. So let me know later on. I'm going to sit over there. Thank you once again for your warmth and kindness.
Thank you. Another hand for Dan. All right, now we're over time, so I want to get everybody in. Everybody's been so nice to come out here. We have Val, we have James, we have Rob, we have Garrett, we have Brian, we have Ralphka, and we have Robert, and we have JR.
I think Brian and Rob may have just left.
Okay, so, all right, so anyway, we have Val, James, Rob. Yes.
All right.
Please.
Oh, look, there's Val.
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
Please keep it as short.
Very brief. One announcement and one poem.
Keep it as short as possible.
So April is National Poetry Month, and as many of you know, we like to celebrate that in San Francisco by pulling together Poems Under the Dome. It's going to be the 20th anniversary of Poems Under the Dome.
Wow.
This year, and we're back inside City Hall this year. So mark your calendars for Friday, 4/11. That's April 11th, and 5:30 to 8 p.m. sharp. And come and bring one poem. We encourage youth, anybody, all ages, please come, but leave your paraphernalia at home. You will have to go through security. All right, my one poem. Mother-daughter bonding over an American prayer. hunched over a lottery ticket, looking for luck to free them from ever having to scratch again. How fun and fast they raced to disappointment, laughing at the loss, readily accepting that it was never meant to be, then go back eating the single pancake they had ordered for dessert.
You're
Thank you.
just to let you know, we're running out of time and we're running out of pens. More people than I anticipated. That's great.
We got a popular gig.
Were there a force? Here we go. A change that's changed for a world for the good. The verse is concerning the stand, the madness and negativity. Tell me, would that agent of change, would it be love? Oh, I know it's a heavy burden word, love, so many associations, so many expectations. Running the gamut from dark memory to sheer whimsy. Clear all out, shall we? Shall we redefine it? Love, that's simply intelligence and compassion that applied fanatically. Then can that drive all action? Let me know. If so, I'd say you're loving your whole world. And is that perfection?
Rob. And after Rob. Oh, good, he's got ukulele. All right. After Gary's after Rob.
What that tricks you got there? All right.
The Trump camp has been hush-hush about the identity of the musical performer for the inauguration. It's me. They offered me 6 figures for the gig, but I said, no, this one is free. So I wrote a song specifically for the inauguration, and I sent the demo to Trump staffers, and they assure me that this song will define America for the next 4 years.
Fantastic.
And so the official world premiere will be on the 20th, but I'm here to give you a little workshop sneak preview.
Look out.
Okay. Oh boy.
This is called Make America Gay Again. Make America gay again, hips and hoorays. Make America gay again, remember the good old gays. Oh, women, my women, sing a song of ourselves. Take these leaves of ass off the shelf. James Buchanan, bachelor for life. Mr. President, don't need no wife. James Baldwin's book so searing. Giovanni's room left open hearts tearing. Make America gay again, hips and hoorays. Make America gay again, remember the good old gays. Audrey Lorde, eloquent adored, our intersectional lioness who roared. Anderson Cooper, super duper, freedom for all from pussy to Hoover. Ellen DeGeneres, ain't no degenerate on network TV, the truth, she rendered it. Soggy law, the stick in my craw, the pansy craze changed our ways. Lavender stare, all hot air. Homophile movement, sweetness sings. Time for Cooper Donuts riot, our voices will not be quiet. Compton's Cafe to Stonewall, freedom means freedom for all, for all. Patrick Harris, fabulous and fun. My gay icon #1. Lil Nas X collects royalty checks while having biblically forbidden sex. Gritty the sports goon sang a gay tune, shoot rainbow flags to the moon. J. Edgar Hoover, patron saint of Freaky Deaky, a bedroom queen on the streets, so squeaky. Liberace, Liberace, I cannot be impartial in the gay parade. My grand marshal. Make America gay again, hips and hoorays. Make America gay again, remember the good old gays. Oh.
Garrett's up next. If you can follow that. Rock.
And this contains traces of your tears?
It may.
Is that true, Gary?
Mr. Garrett Murphy.
Thank you. Take a roll.
Thank you, Nuts. We thank you for tormenting us, for calling us names, for harassing and profiling us, for assaulting us with your slaps, your fists, your weaponry, your spittle, and for shouting obscenities and slurs on our faces. We thank you for your collective punishment, for your destroying our property, our loved ones, our very own lives, and please accept our thanks to you for your attempts to destroy our self-esteem and pride. You've done us a tremendous service we shall not soon forget, and should you truly believe any of the above, then you, to those certain manums, are truly no more than just another perpetrator. Thank you.
Brian's not here. Ralpha?
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. Robert Rubino and J.R.
Finding Your Peeps, an ode to Dan Brady. 1 hour drive into the city mid-afternoon to beat rush hour traffic. 1 hour drive home later that night. In between, 1.5 hours walking in the park or in your old inner Sunset neighborhood, where the only thing that's drastically changed in 45 years is the rents. Enter Sacred Grounds Cafe at about 5. Greet the other early birds, 3 no-fuss old-timer poets. Order a cappuccino and a veggie lasagna from Teddy the proprietor. Eat your meal, drink your coffee, and from the handful of poems you've brought along, choose the one you'll read at that evening's open mic. You've never read poetry in public, and you're as nervous as Don Knotts' old character on Steve Allen's show. A bit before 7, host Dan Brady enters with the open mic sign-up sheet. 3 hours of poetry follow. Diverse, interesting, provocative, moving, funny, political, apolitical, romantic, misanthropic, and Dan's own, usually hopeful or nostalgic or sly or all of the above. Dan running it all like Duke Ellington conducting a big jazz orchestra, with flair and dignity and savvy, with humor and patience and improvisation and grace. And from Dan, open-minded, open-hearted encouragement, always encouragement. Young poets, old poets, in-between poets, a poetic spectrum as wide as Ocean Beach. When you get home, you will have put in more than 8 hours. Sounds like a crazy trade-off. All that time invested for a 3-minute poem. Not crazy at all. You've found your people, your tribe, your calling. You'll do this every Wednesday for a year until COVID closes sacred grounds and won't reopen, not for poetry. Well, you won't miss that broom closet of a bathroom with the grimy toilet from hell and that door latch that never quite worked. But you found your people, your tribe, even a few new friends, community, still alive via Zoom and in-person venues here and there and here. But nothing quite like that in-person year of Wednesdays at Sacred Grounds. Sacred indeed. Late life magical is what that year was. Thanks for listening.
JR, you're up next. Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Dan.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure seeing all of you again. Okay? And I want to remind you that this is the key.
Mike, please.
I want to remind you that this is the kingdom of heaven. We are keepers of the garden. Around us, there's a glow. There's peace, harmony, and love. Fulfillment and abundance is standard. With all of you, I share the mandate. Heavenly love is at hand, offering salvation to women and men. Filling cups promised and granted. Salvation has come to the pan. Path leads from the prophets to our lives. Salvation is now. Welcome home to live with us in the luxuries. Wow. I have this song I want to sing for you. I'm sorry. I don't know how I'm tongue-tied, but love is a luxury. When I was your sweet cakes, you gave me everything. Then you up and left me, leaving me only the moon. So many things you left me, tidbits to sprinkle my life, stardust and moonglow to live by, little trinkets from loving you. Just a day without you, a moment without your smile, makes me sad and lonely, thinking of you in my arms. The sadness lasts just a moment when I think of you. All the things you've given me, you gave me everything and the moon. Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of this month's
Fandango.
I just read an email that Pete Sedgwick, the guy that's being nominated for Secretary of Defense, they asked him in the hearing, Trump's new cabinet, if Trump ordered protesters to be shot, if he would shoot them or not. Secretary of Defense. He did not answer the question.
Wow.
And Trump did this last time he was president. Protesters during the George Floyd marches, he kidnapped them in vans. I don't know what happened to them, and then they shot people. The guy Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy that killed two protesters and injured another one, under Biden's administration, the judge found him innocent. So folks, we're up times, difficult times. We gotta go to peoplestribune.org, go to rallycomrades.org, go to legalrevolutionaryforAmerica.org. We want people to have political education. I'm not with that organization, but political education, collective decisions, defend the immigrants, defend the rights of the Palestinian people, defend our democratic rights.
Yes, thank you all for coming out. I'm sorry we went late. today. It was like we had so many people.
We want one from
late.
you. We want one from you. How about one from Mr. Gregory Pond? Mr. Pond. Who will drink the water, Mr. Pond?
All right. I'll just read a little more here. Okay. This is entitled Freedom Trek. We get pulled 2 steps back for every 3 we step ahead. We hear echoes of ancestral chains scraped across history's decks. We still feel the advance of a slave master's hands and the noose around our necks. We've seen our souls bought and sold for less than gold on the manumission to Liberty Trek. We've been walking north since before we were born, but we ain't got the freedom yet. Next month will be February 15, and it will be Michael War and Shun Yu will be the features. And they will be doing separately, but they'll also read together because they have a collective going. Please come out next month. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful month. Have a safe one.
It's also time to heat up parade, so come early, it's a lot of traffic. The time
Right, yeah, and yes, have a wonderful MLK Pride Day.
Thank you. Enjoyed your work.
And